Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lowdown Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Following Tuesday's flooding, Wednesday brought a break from the rain for many of us, but we're not done with flooding potential. A watch going into Friday may be extended with more heavy rain on the way. This builds in from the west through tonight. Then for our Friday, a widespread marginal to slight risk for excessive rainfall. Lingering marginal risk Saturday and Saturday night. That will be expanding across the eastern panhandle Sunday and Sunday night with a slight risk mainly over mountainous regions. Monday, drier air begins to edge into the region, but before that happens, we could still see some heavy downpours. Through Saturday night, Huntington, Charleston, Beckley, Elkins, these areas have that half of an inch to an inch with locally higher amounts. Meanwhile, Lewisburg, Parkersburg, northern and eastern panhandle, generally less than a half inch in that time frame. So through the evening and overnight hours, we will see some storms moving in with some heavy rain, but also these storms may be capable of some gusty winds for our Friday. That'll carry into the early afternoon, and then evening and overnight, additional storms into Saturday. FlyStar W forecast, it starts at home. Chicago is dealing with some wet weather as we head through the weekend. Meanwhile, Charlotte feeling the heat, but generally quieter. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north for mid to upper 60s overnight. May see some areas of fog settle in, low to mid 80s on Friday. No warmer than 83 for Moundsville. As we go east, mid to upper 60s. Then we'll see 85 for Martinsburg, Petersburg 84. Elkins 67 overnight, then 81 on Friday with Ripley seeing 85. We'll see mid 60s to low 70s over southern West Virginia. Then Friday's highs in low to upper 80s with Huntington pushing to 88. This stretch will be taking us through the weekend. Multiple rounds of rain that'll be heavy at times. A warm front pushes us to 92 for Charleston Sunday, but cooler into next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
That out to you here in just a couple minutes, where we're going to Larry Groce is going to be here a little bit later on. Always love talking to Larry or anybody that Mountain Stage sends over, whether it be Kathy Mateo or Adam Harris. We're going to get Larry Groce today, so we'll talk to Larry about what's coming up on Mountain Stage. We're going to talk about the West Virginia State Fair in the 4 o'clock hour as well. I know that that's been bouncing around the network a little bit today, but we need to find out more about the fair. A big event with a great lineup and tons of stuff going on. So we're going to talk to Kelly Collins about the West Virginia State Fair. Amy Smith is with us today as well, from formerly of Investors Business Daily. Now she's on her own, but she's the shining pride of Randolph County, and we'll be taking your financial questions if you have any. I have a few questions for her as well on some stories that I've run across over the last couple of weeks. And then Kevin Kender will be with us over these next 180 minutes too, to talk more about West Virginia sports. So it's going to be another good show for you. I appreciate you tuning in today, and I'm glad that everybody's around. Ryan Nicholson is with me. Matt Murphy is with me. Matt, we heard from you already. You doing all right?
I'm all right.
All right, that's good.
No, I'm pretty good. How are you?
I know that I'm well, and I know this has been, kind of a stressful week for everyone, where it's kind of a domino effect. But you look, you look happy today.
Do I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do a good job of hiding everything, I suppose. Ryan, how you doing? You doing all right? Oh. You do have a button right there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can turn your own mic on. Good grief.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing okay, man. I can't complain too much. It was what a nice day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I thought
I'll take your word for it. I've been here for the past 3 hours.
You've been like, but it really is. It's at least the last time I looked, it was sunny outside. It was not raining, like famously not raining. So that's kind of nice. I thought we were going to have a block of rain this week.
You must be the only of the three of us that has been out of the building, because it seems like Ryan and I have been in our caves.
I have windows in my office.
Well,
Oh, lucky you.
I haven't really been outside. I just have these big windows.
Highfalutin, fancy pants. Got
Matt has windows
in
his office.
I have one, but
and it's behind you.
It's behind
the parking
me.
lot.
And, yeah, it's just building and parking lots. Nothing scenic by any means. But
You can see who sneaks in the side door.
Well, now I can. I do often kind of peer out there to see what's going on, because You'd be surprised the number of people that'll sneak in over there.
Sometimes I'm surprised at the people that sneak in the back door. I'm like, oh, back door today, are we? Okay.
Yeah, you know you're really late when you're sneaking in through the alley. I don't think any of the three of us, I don't think that would be us at all.
The only time I ever come in through that door is when I park all the way back there, and it's just a much shorter walk to get in through the back. Usually I come in through the front because I need to tell everybody I'm here anyway, usually. So even when I come in the back, I have to come up front to let everybody know I'm here. But yeah, every once in a while I'm like, oh, hello there, back door man. Yeah. It's like a Doors song in here. What's going on? We have a good show for you today, like we've already talked about, and a couple things that we're going to get into to talk about. We'll have some highlights of sports coming up at 3:30, including the ongoing games. The Reds and the Pirates are in action separately right now. I don't know, neither of you probably. I can't believe this fly is still in here.
Yeah, it is.
This is like day 4 of this thing. Oh, my gosh. Okay, anyway, the Reds got into a brawl with the White Sox. Sal Stewart opened up scoring early with a home run. I think he had a single his second at bat, so he was 2 for 2. Third time he came to the plate, he got 2 straight pitches to the head. And the second one winged him on top of the helmet, and he took the bat, pointed it at the pitcher. It was about ready to go down. Benches cleared. I don't think any punches were thrown, but it got a little bit interesting there. Last time I saw, the Reds had taken an 8-4 lead on the White Sox. Although, of course, the way the Reds bullpen is, it's hard to tell what status of that is right now.
It's 9-5.
Hey, look at that,
Reds
9-5.
on top of the 6th.
What do you know? And then the Pirates are playing the Marlins right now, and the Pirates are looking to get back in the W column. They are ahead 8-0, so the Pirates are winning right now as well. We get some more. We got some highlights of that coming up a little bit later on. Let's go ahead and roll out today's question today, because I do have a story, and I want to ask you guys if you have anything that kind of fits into this one, because I think that this one has a potential to be a pretty interesting one. This thing is going on. I might have got it. I'm not sure. Okay. So the hotline question of the day today, nearly 2 decades after its theatrical release, Chris Carter's intended director's cut of The X-Files, I Want to Believe, is finally seeing the light of day. The film premieres August 14th on Disney Plus and Hulu. Carter's cut restores horror elements removed to secure a PG-13 rating, offering a darker tone on the Dr. Frankenstein-inspired storyline. The release coincides with Ryan Coogler's Hulu reboot of the sci-fi series. So the Salango Law question of the day today is, what spooky or unexplained thing that you personally know about would make a good X-Files episode? What spooky or unexplained thing that you personally know about would make a good X-Files episode? I try to word this in a way that if you have a really good story that somebody told you, that's not common knowledge or whatever, I'm okay with you relating that. It doesn't have to be something that directly happened to you. So if like, your wife has a good story for you, or your brother or something like that, then you can relate those as well. You can text 304-825-5304, 304-TALK-304. I asked you guys before we came down here, do you either of you have a story that kind of fits within that? It doesn't have to be actually supernatural, just something that is spooky or weird. So
I majored in music in college. Right, yeah. I was in a music social fraternity, Phi Mu Alpha, down at Marshall University. Phi Mu Alpha's national headquarters is in Evansville, Indiana, and they have a beautiful property out there. And the home office is kind of in this beautiful house cabin kind of looking thing. And there's a lot of lore about that place because there is a particular office, a desk chair, that regardless of where you put it at night, it will wind up in a certain position again by morning.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Now that's weird. You witnessed it? You saw it happen?
I did not witness it, but some of my very close friends who had been able to stay up there, they had heard some weird things in that building. So
that's interesting.
Some of those guys actually are in Tyler Childers' band now, because I went to college with like 2 or 3 of his bandmates.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I have a theory from experience. From experience, my theory would be there's an overnight guy that works there that goes down and moves the chair every morning.
One would think. One would think. You never know.
Because that's definitely happened in this building before where people thought it was haunted. I'll tell that sometime, but that's not today's. That's a good one. I like that because it's simple. It doesn't cause any harm or anything like that. And if you happen to know that lore and you walk in there some morning and you see that chair there, regardless of where it was the night before or anything else, you're like, oh, maybe the ghosty moved it or whatever it might be. So that's
You never
pretty
know.
interesting.
You never know.
Ryan, I asked you before we went on there. You didn't really have anything to convey.
I have had 0 supernatural encounters in my entire life.
They don't have to be super. It could just be weird, or like the family from the X-Files on the West Virginia episode. It could be anything like that.
I mean, there was this weird guy who approached me in the parking lot at Walgreens, and he was like, "Hey man, you got any spare change?" And I'm like, "Sure, here's some money." And he's like, "Does when you drink water, does it go to your brain?" And I'm like, "Sure, buddy, yeah."
Yeah, you should have continued that questioning, because maybe he had something interesting to share, or he had a prophecy or something, and that would have led us there.
Or maybe he was just dehydrated.
Yeah, that could be too. So I have a quick one that I'll relate, that I know that it isn't actually supernatural, but it is so weird that you could basically argue anything for it, and everything in this is mundane, so there was no creepy situation or anything like that. Years ago, I used to work for a prominent rental car. Well, I worked for Enterprise for years ago. I was a branch manager for Enterprise back in the early 2000s. Strange situation that got me into that job, but actually I liked it. It was a fun job, and because I was a previous small business owner, I fit right in. I got promoted to a branch manager pretty quick. One of the neat things about Enterprise is you're truly responsible for the branch, meaning that you have to pay off your bad debt and everything as well. So as a branch manager, it behooves you to control your bad debt, because you get paid commission. If you have less bad debt, it takes less off the top. You get paid more commission. It just makes economic sense. I was pretty good at that, at collecting the bad debt. But one of the worst things that you would get would be if you got one of the worst things you would get is if you got a car stolen from you.
Oh, right.
Because if you got a car stolen from your branch, you had to pay for that car. So if it was a $15,000 car, $20,000 car at that market value, the company would divide it over 12, and you would pay for it out of your branch profits over that 12-month period. It would take it off the top before you got your commission. Anyway, so it meant that it was really important for you to go and to get that repossessed car. So I had a car that was about a week past due, and it was on a Dodge Charger, which was considered a relatively nice. This was when they first relaunched the Dodge Chargers. This is when they first came out. They were a really high demand vehicle, and this car was about a week past due. So they owed me about $400. So and we couldn't get a hold of them. I had several contact numbers for them. I knew their address, things like couldn't get a hold of them. In trying to get a hold of them, one of my employees was doing some research. I put people on it like detectives, man. So I had some people doing social media research and everything else. They came up with a number, called somebody, and got a tip that this guy was staying at a neighborhood in Detroit, which is about an hour away from where I was in Lansing. And so I took one of my employees. We went over to our corporate office and got the extra set of keys for the car. Sometimes you just got to do a repo. So we're going to drive to Detroit and do this repo. We get into this. It's a neighborhood a little bit outside of Detroit, kind of a middle ground neighborhood. Not real bad, not like Royal Oak or something. It was right in the middle there. And so we're driving around. I had the street the guy was on, but not the actual house address. So I didn't know what house I was looking for. So I had the fob out, and I was just kind of clicking the fob as we were driving up and down the street. Weirdest thing happened. We got on this street, and I'm clicking to the fob, and I hear a car alarm go off. I'm like, oh, we found it finally. But then I'm listening, and it's weird. There's multiple car alarms going off. And as we're driving around looking, because it's really strange, there's at least 3 car alarms going off that seemed to all go off on my fob. Now, because of the job I was in and just some knowledge, I know that these signals can actually cross over every once in a while.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to have in the same city, and it's definitely not supposed to happen in the same neighborhood. This was just the weirdest thing. We couldn't find the car. It wasn't evidently on the street. One of the alarms were definitely coming from a garage somewhere, but the rest of them were kind of echoing around. It was just really weird. So we're like, okay, we're not going to find this car. We're going to get out of here. So we leave without the car. That night I go home, sleep at my apartment. I lived in an apartment at the time. Got up the next morning and left, was leaving, and I reached into my pocket to get the keys out of to get my company car that I drove home, hit the fob on my company car, the chirp went off, and I was like, wait a minute, that was a weird chirp. That's not the chirp of my company car. So I look over to the right, about 4 spaces down from where my company car was, and there was a Dodge Charger sitting there. And I was like, well, that's weird. So here's another car where this fob is sending off the chirp or the alarm or whatever. And I was like, well, it was the alarm yesterday, not the chirp. And so on the back of the key, they have the license. So I could turn the key over and look at the license, walk around the back of the car, and it was the car I was looking for.
What?
At my apartment. Parked 4 cars down from my car.
Did you accidentally drive it home yourself one day and forgot?
Of course not. I have no idea. But I took that car at that moment and drove it back to my corporate office. I was like, this is like a gift. Are you kidding me? I thought this car was gone. Now, the obvious solution is the coincidence. This is one of those things that the coincidence is so unlikely, and I don't know this for sure, but this is my guess. The coincidence is so unlikely that it's almost easier to believe in some supernatural thing.
Yeah.
It must be that this guy just happened to be visiting somebody that lived in my apartment complex and probably stayed the night there. Mm-hmm. That's the only solution that I can think of, and it is just the most highest order of coincidence possible that I hit my fob even, and it was the wrong one coming out of my apartment that morning. And, man, I jumped in that car. It took me 2 seconds. I was like, all right. I jumped in the car and just drove it back. Saved me a ton of money. And guy never called, never tried to get any. He had some stuff in the car, never tried to get his stuff, never heard from him again, never collected my $400. But I got my car back.
Here's my question. Are there, like, master key fobs?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, maybe, but not to my knowledge.
Because it does seem kind of wild if by chance you actually did set off 3 in the other neighborhood.
I don't even know if that's – I mean, it's probably not even related, but it just fits into the story. Like, what is all this weird stuff happening with this vehicle? I have a feeling that's just a coincidence too. Like, we went here to this place. Maybe he really was there, and then the key fob thing just did the key fob thing. I don't know, man.
That's wild.
Isn't that weird? See, that seems like something – that would be, you would try, but how could you even write something like haunted or supernatural? It would like no lore that we know would even make sense with that. Like, how do you attach, like a succubus to a car or something? I have no idea, but it's just weird, right?
I mean, the guy probably didn't call you back because he's like, oh man, these Enterprise guys know that I tried to steal their car and somehow they got it back. So I'm not going to push my luck.
I was hardcore, man. There were some not nice neighborhoods that I would have to go to that I would be like slid way down in the car, and I would climb out of a door that we barely showed it was open and be like army crawling on the ground of repo, man. Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
It was good stuff.
I have the mental imagery that I have right now of you as a repo man. This is worth its weight in gold here. I'm telling you what.
And of course, there was a dress code, so you had to wear a suit. So also, I was also dressed in a suit.
Yeah.
Could you do black ops like after work?
Yeah, right.
Dress down a little bit.
It's more believable than Dave Weekley as a lifeguard.
That's a really good point, Ryan.
Yeah.
That was a promo for a long time because Dave was telling the story that he started off with being a lifeguard, and Ryan interrupted him. He was like, wait. I have a hard time believing this because you couldn't have been a lifeguard. And then I forget what the joke was after. You would like, wait and ask people the big pause or something.
If he was like, if you saw someone drowning, it'd be like, that's up to you.
It's none of my business.
That's none of my business.
That's good stuff. Oh, man. Rescuing us from wherever we were headed is Metro News' own Jeff Jenkins coming down from the newsroom. Always a busy news day. Tons of stuff going on from the Greenbrier down to school. And all kinds of things going on right now, Jeff. What's leading the news? Once again.
That's okay. So, Coop, we just so the U.S. Chemical Safety Board is one of the groups that is investigating what happened back in April. You may remember at the Catalyst Refiners plant there in Institute in Kanawha County, there was a chemical reaction there. Remember that 2 workers were killed, overcome by chemicals. They were decommissioning that operation. And so the U.S. Chemical Safety Board came out with some initial findings today. This is not their complete investigation, just some initial findings. And one of the things they point out is that these workers were not required to wear respirators because the plant was the company said you don't have to. This is according to what the CSB said, that the company told the workers that they didn't have to wear them because they were decommissioning the facility. In fact, the information released today is that 2 workers who died were actually not in the unit that was being decommissioned at first. They had come in to help the people who had been overcome, and then they were overcome by and it claimed their life. So we'll have an update. Just got that information. We'll have an update coming up at WVMetronews.com. Of course, also following the Greenbrier, the new development there today is that the Greenbrier, the Justice family, say they're ready to go through with the closing, the $500 million with the new investor. And what's holding them up is the Lottery Commission, because the Lottery Commission has not approved the casino going through with that because, if you get new owners, the casino, the Lottery Commission is the regulatory agency over the casino. So they're doing their due diligence to make sure this is a good financial deal for the casino. And the justices say, we'll just go ahead without it. We'll just close the casino. So, and then the Lottery Commission has responded by saying we're not going to be pressured to hurry our decision. So you can read the latest at WVMetroNews.com on that. And also out of the Eastern Panhandle today, Carl Luck, the son of former State Senator Sandra Luck, was sentenced today for her death. He attacked his mother back in late 2024. She died. He was sentenced today to 40-plus years in prison.
That was a tragic story.
Yep.
Yeah. I know that we can follow the news today, as always, at WVMetroNews.com. Plenty of stuff going on over there as you can follow things along. And, Jeff, I'll catch a loose. Did you see where White Sox and Reds got into a little brawl?
I did see that.
Yeah, they were coming for Sal, man.
That second one, I mean, it hit like the tip of his
batting
helmet. Yeah,
there was back-to-back really bad pitches. I mean, I'm not, you need to play the game, but you also can't throw at somebody's head, and that was pretty bad. Anyway, we'll update the Reds game a little bit later on. Jeff, thanks for the information. Appreciate it. WVMetroNews.com for more news of the day. We'll take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown!
This is Hotline on Metro News. We'll be back with the sound of sports, updating today's baseball right after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Following Tuesday's flooding, Wednesday brought a break from the rain for many of us, but we're not done with flooding potential. A watch going into Friday may be extended with more heavy rain on the way. This builds in from the west through tonight. Then for our Friday, a widespread marginal to slight risk for excessive rainfall. Lingering marginal risk Saturday and Saturday night. That will be expanding across the eastern panhandle Sunday and Sunday night with a slight risk mainly over mountainous regions. Monday, drier air begins to edge into the region, but before that happens, we could still see some heavy downpours. Through Saturday night, Huntington, Charleston, Beckley, Elkins, these areas have that half of an inch to an inch with locally higher amounts. Meanwhile, Lewisburg, Parkersburg, northern and eastern panhandle, generally less than a half inch in that time frame. So through the evening and overnight hours, we will see some storms moving in with some heavy rain, but also these storms may be capable of some gusty winds for our Friday. That'll carry into the early afternoon, and then evening and overnight, additional storms into Saturday. FlyStar W forecast, it starts at home. Chicago is dealing with some wet weather as we head through the weekend. Meanwhile, Charlotte feeling the heat, but generally quieter. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north for mid to upper 60s overnight. May see some areas of fog settle in, low to mid 80s on Friday. No warmer than 83 for Moundsville. As we go east, mid to upper 60s. Then we'll see 85 for Martinsburg, Petersburg 84, Elkins 67 overnight, then 81 on Friday with Ripley seeing 85. We'll see mid 60s to low 70s over southern West Virginia. Then Friday's highs in low to upper 80s with Huntington pushing to 88. This stretch will be taking us through the weekend, multiple rounds of rain that'll be heavy at times. A warm front pushes us to 92 for Charleston Sunday, but cooler into next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah,
this
if you
is,
can handle Randolph
this,
County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, it's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
.org.
"27 minutes until 4 o'clock. Metro News Hotline. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. Matt Murphy's my producer today, and appreciate everyone that are tuned into the program. We're going to do the Sound of Sports here in just a moment, including an update of today's Reds and Pirates games. The Reds are taking on the White Sox in Chicago, trying to win that series after losing last night. The Reds have an opportunity to win today. They are up 9-5 right now. We'll have some highlights in just a moment. The Pirates are looking to get one out of their series against the Marlins, and they're doing so right now with a big lead. So we'll get into those highlights in just a moment. Let's go ahead and get today's question of the day deployed before we get to those. Question of the day today. Wanted to hear some stories from you guys. Nearly 2 decades after its theatrical release, Chris Carter's intended director's cut of The X-Files, I Want to Believe, is finally seeing the light of day. The film premieres August 14th on Disney Plus and Hulu. Carter's cut restores the horror elements removed to secure the PG-13 rating, offering a darker tale on the Dr. Frankenstein-inspired storyline. The release coincides with Ryan Coogler's Hulu reboot of the sci-fi series that is coming out. So the Salango Law question of the day is, what spooky or unexplained thing that you know about would make a good X-Files episode? What spooky or unexplained thing that you personally know about would make a good X-Files episode? You can text those over to 304-825-5304. That's 304-TALK-304. Looking forward to hearing about those because I think that folks out there might have some good stories. I liked Matt's chair story earlier. I told my Enterprise story. Ryan has nothing, but that's okay.
Shocker.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
guy just living a very natural life.
Let's go ahead and you guys get your responses in 304-825-5304. We'll read those a little bit later on, but let's go ahead and do the sound of sports. And let's start with the games going on right now. And the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago White Sox are playing. The Reds are leading in that game right now 9-5, and boy, there's been a lot of fireworks in that game. Let's play a couple of highlights from this. Let's start early in the game where the Reds' Sal Stewart was got the Reds on the board early, and of course they just updated their video stream, and I don't have that one. Okay, well, let's go to this. Let's go to Sal Stewart up after going two for his first two with a home run and a single, and then tempers flare a little bit later on as White Sox pitching goes after Sal Stewart's head twice in the same at-bat.
That got Stewart in the helmet, and he points at him. Back-to-back pitches near his head. Both benches empty. Alan Porter trying to maintain control, raising his palm to both sides. Eugenio Suarez with his hands out, motioning toward Martin.
But you can't do that now. That was right at the face.
Consecutive pitches to Stewart.
I'd give you a break on the first one. That one I'd give you a break on, but you still get a look. You tell me it came out of your hand a little early, but what about this?
Man, when you look at the video, it was coming right for his face. Then later, Ty Stevenson got back.
Oh, that's it hard.
Tyler Stevenson cranks one deep left center field. Gone!
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
A 3-run shot, his 11th of the year. And the Reds are doubling up the White Sox 8-4.
Score now for that game is 9-5 with the Reds in the lead, and they are in the top of the 8th inning. So the Reds have probably a pretty good chance to be able to pull this one out. Lots of fireworks in that game. Sal Stewart in that game is 2 for 3. He has 4 runs scored because he's been hit not once but twice, as it turns out now. And but tempers have calmed down, and that game is carrying on. So a lot of fireworks for the Reds in that game. The Pirates are taking on the Marlins, and much of the same as far as the Pirates and the Marlins go, where the Pirates are really dominating the game right now. Is that a final? No, bottom of the ninth, so the Marlins are batting, but Pittsburgh has a 12-run lead. It is 13-1 in favor of the Pirates right now. And I had a Pirates highlight for you from their feed. And, of course, they deleted that as well. So let's go to last night's. I had all these queued up right during the break, and they updated their feed, and they all went away. So I guess we'll have to go to last night's sports scores, and there's lots of things that were going on last night in the sporting world, starting with Major League Baseball, where the Cubs and Nationals, going to our Eastern Panhandle report, they matched up again last night, and, man, it was some kind of night for Alex Bregman. Alex Bregman went nuclear, 3 home runs, 7 RBI on a 3-for-5 night. Dabney Swanson added a homer and scored 3 runs. Washington hit some long balls of their own, but they couldn't keep the pace. Final of 12-6. Here is Bregman's last home run.
High fly ball, left field. That one heading towards the bullpen, and that is gone. It's a 3-homer game for Alex Bregman, the first of his career. What a night for Bregman.
Tough night for the Eastern Panhandle. Minnesota took the series from the Orioles with a 14-hit day. Alan Roden went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles. Josh Bell added 3 hits. Baltimore's Shane Baz was hammered for 9 hits and 5 runs in 3 innings. Dylan Beavers homered with 3 RBI in the loss. The O's did threaten late in trying to pull off a comeback, but were foiled by this web gem from Cody Clemens.
Hoffman's 1-0. Line to right and caught by Cody Clemens. Saves a run, maybe 2, timed it perfectly. Cody Clemens plays all over, ends the inning.
Twins host Philadelphia tonight at 7:30. Orioles are open They start at Tampa Bay on Friday. By the way, the Cubs are at Washington. That's coming up here at 4:05. So Washington's going to open up a game just after the top of the hour. Since Matt Murphy is producing, we have to get Brewers highlights in here. I'm sorry that they keep losing suddenly. What the heck is up with that?
It's the West Coast, man.
I'm telling you what, 4-3 Padres over Brewers. San Diego sweeps that series, and they walked it off in extras.
Campusano into right field. Base hit. Here comes Song. Laura's throw will be late. Padres walk it off. Campusano to right.
Their crowd always sounds amazing, though. Just like Milwaukee, it always sounds great in Milwaukee, but their crowd in San Diego sounds amazing.
That call was rude.
It was a little rude. Let's see. Cardinals last night beat the Phillies by a final of 7-1. St. Louis took the series with a comfortable win, and the Cards did it. The Cards did it the old way last night, playing some small ball.
Sharply hit right field, a base hit. Weatherholt's around third. He will score. Harper's throw into second. Burleson goes lefty.
And so the Cardinals win that game 7-1. Philadelphia at Minnesota tonight at 7:30, and the Cardinals are off. Braves beat the Mets yesterday 6-3. Atlanta took the series with their second straight win over New York. Here is Yastrzemski with a dinger for the Braves.
How far is this going to go? It's high. It's deep. It is gone. Off the bench and into the chop house for yes.
The Braves host Arizona Friday, and the Mets host Washington on Friday. And then finally, in L.A., the Dodgers swept Kansas City, and one of the instruments of that success, of course, Shohei Ohtani.
Back to Shohei for a second time. First pitch, he goes the other way. This ball is gone. And the scoreboard flips.
The scoreboard flips, and that gave the Dodgers the lead, and really put the Dodgers in the lead, and they end up winning that series, sweeping the series against Kansas City. Checking our text now for folks that have some supernatural stories. We'll get to some of these a little bit later on today. I want to know any stories that you know about, either personally or that someone's related to you, that would fit in an X-Files episode. So let me know your X-Files episode story. You can text those over to 304-825-5304, 304-TALK-304. Let's do this. We'll take a break and be back to do, I know what we're going to do. Coach Rich Rodriguez, we talked about this a lot yesterday, but he had an extended media availability yesterday. He talked about several things pretty openly, so I put together a little bit of a supercut of Rich Rod from yesterday, a couple minutes long, and so we're going to hear from the coach of the West Virginia Mountaineers football team when we come back. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News. We'll be back right after this.
Hi, I'm Tim Denicola, a geologist at Civil and Environmental Consultants. I became a geologist.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season. The 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart. Only on Metro News Television.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in-store at Daniel's.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
It is Metro News Hotline on a Thursday afternoon. I'm Dale Cooper. Thanks for tuning in to the program. Really enjoy doing this while Dave's on vacation, but Dave will be back on Monday, and I'm here too. I'm not. Dave and I haven't seen each other in 2 weeks. That's. It happens during Christmas time a lot, where we'll go a long time. But usually our summer vacations are not back to back, so this is a little bit unusual this time around. Haven't seen the Grand Poobah in a while, man. I hope he's all right.
I bet he hasn't even thought of us.
Probably not, although I sent him a couple links to some stuff that I came across in prep the other day that was good for baseball heads, and he was very appreciative of those things. But so he's all right anyway. But
is it? I bet it's. Now it's like sunny and 70 or 92 down there. I don't know. That's too hot for me.
Yeah, well, whatever vinyl shop he's in is air conditioned.
Well, that's true.
Or that's more than likely.
This
anyway.
is very true.
I think that was Anthony Lewis's joke from yesterday, though. So I don't want to steal that too much.
Well,
I saw that Larry Groce just got here, so we're going to talk to Larry Groce from Mountain Stage here in just a couple minutes. But Rich Rodriguez from the Mountaineers yesterday, the Mountaineer football team had an extended. A lot of people on the team had an extended press availability, and I thought Coach Rod was pretty open on a lot of the things that he's appraising and looking at right now. And after having a chance to go through and actually listen to the entire thing, I put together a little bit of a supercut of some of the more relevant things that I think that he had to talk about yesterday. This is just a couple minutes long, and I thought that we could talk to it now. So this is we could listen to it now. So this is Coach Rich Rodriguez from the West Virginia Mountaineer football team yesterday during his media availability.
I have to look back, but I think this is the shortest training camp that had a long time. But it's just the way the calendar fell. It wasn't another thing. You only allowed so many practices, and so you get more practices or start a whole lot early if you go in week 0, which I think we're going to try to do next year. So this is like I can't remember time not even having 2 weeks of practice of camp, and that's it, and school starts. But that's the way the calendar falls this year. So there is a sense of urgency to try to get as much done when we got all ball last week and this week, and then next week when school starts, it's going to be a little bit more limited. But that got to play part into what our coaches are thinking about install in all 3 phases. So we're not, getting ready for Coastal Carolina 2 weeks before the game, and all of a sudden we still haven't figured out who our guys are and what they're doing, and the fundamentals aren't there and all that stuff. We're bigger, particularly at corner. Our guys last year competed hard, but there were just times where we just got mossed a little bit at times with some of the big wideouts, and we were in position to make the play, just couldn't get not quite big enough maybe to do it. So we went purposely to try to get some length and some size at the corner position. And, you look at Choms, who's 6'3" or 6'4", Nick's 6'6'1", Keyshawn's almost 6 foot. Rayshawn Reynolds is another guy we brought in. I think he's going to have a good season for us. He's 6'3". Day Allen's 6'3". So there's some corners now that got some length that we haven't had before. Is a quarterback better with this guy running back or this guy wide receiver? We roll guys in and out so much that we don't want that to be the case, because I hope we never have another year like last year where you got all the quarterbacks hurt and all those running backs hurt, and it was just crazy. But I think we're trying to create depth, and it's a good quality depth no matter who's out there. Quarterback doesn't matter to him who's playing center, who's playing tailback. And we roll so much in practice because of that. Because, even though we don't want to go through a season like last year, we got 8 straight games and no open dates. That's, just the way the schedule falls this year. That's a lot at this level, 8 straight with no open dates. So we better make sure we have some quality depth. We got a couple guys that can play in a slot, like Jaden Bray and John Nider will play both outside and inside. Cyrus Trawl can play both in the slot, inside and outside. So we've moved the wideouts around a lot more than we have in the past. And some of them, like Jaden and Cyrus and John Nider, who's an experienced guy, can handle that. Their singular focus has to be that very next rep or play or whatever we're teaching. And our coaches do a really good job of that. Our managers and trainers do. And I'm trying to get the players to do the same thing. Because when I go to practice, we got some great people visiting and all that. But once the whistle starts for the first period, there could be bombs going off outside. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm like totally into it. The very next thing we're doing, and our coaches do a great job of that, and our players, I think, have done a better job of that. Because you watch a lot of practices, and there's a lot of lollygagging around. Got players on the sidelines looking at birds, or over there chatting about something on TikTok or whatever it is. And I've asked the entire program, everybody in the entire program, recruiting staff, everybody, when we practice, we have 100% engagement on everything that goes on in practice all the time.
So those are kind of the highlights from yesterday's media availability with West Virginia football head coach Rich Rodriguez. I thought a lot of that was pretty insightful and into his mindset, and also some of the ways that he's evaluating players and positions so far before the opening of the season later on this month. Our hotline question of the day today is, I want to know your experiences, or those that you know about, that would fit into an X-Files episode. You can text those over to me at 304-825-5304. What is an experience that you've had or that you know about that would fit into an X-Files episode? 304-825-5304. John in Martinsburg texted in. He said, don't really have one, but I sat through a doubleheader at Camden Yards with Jillian Anderson. Her and her husband sat right in front of me. So,
wow.
Of course, Agent Scully. I heard that she's a wonderful person. I've never personally met her, but I've heard she's a wonderful person.
That would be really cool just to kind of sit behind them.
It would. I think so, too.
A double header at that.
I know, right? Yeah. And hey, baseball fan, right? It must be. So it must be good people there as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. I have, where the heck did it go? I had another one here somewhere.
Talk about the supernatural. Everything that you have loaded up on that computer keeps disappearing.
Oh my goodness! You don't even know. I'm in tab Hades over here. There's so many tabs that I have that's open that it's crazy. Okay, so from the 301-221. Hey guys, I was working the night shift as a maintenance guy at a resort early in my career. I ran over a cat while speeding on the property and knew I couldn't just leave it. I went back about 45 minutes later, and when I put the shovel under the cat, it got up and ran off. When I told the guy I was working with back at the shop, he swore I was lying. I don't know if cats have 9 lives or not, but I know they have more than one, and I swear it's a true story. Todd in Hedgesville.
Well, that cat only had 8 after that, but...
Yeah, you took one of them there. Man, I can't get into it, but we have a whole situation in our neighborhood right now about a neighborhood alley cat that's gone missing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a whole thing right now. Like, it's a neighborhood project.
I've got one that it likes to hang out around my house, but it won't let me anywhere close to it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought I saw our missing cat or the neighborhood missing cat last night, but it does not like me specifically because I tried to catnap it once. It looked like our cat. It's a black cat, and it looked like our black cat who I thought got out of the house. So I grabbed it and tried to put it in the house. It's like, wah! And it hasn't liked me ever since then. So I couldn't go try to track it down. But I sent video to the neighborhood, so hopefully they went and,
there you go.
found it.
How nice of you.
I think so.
Good neighbor.
Let's take a break. We'll come back, and we'll wrap up hour number 1 and tell you what's coming up right after this.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, Honey Bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wounded Warrior Project helps post 9/11 veterans and their families realize what's possible. With support and resources that bring warriors together and empower them to become stronger, both inside and out.
It's possible to begin healing, to get the help you need,
to find peace. And as each warrior's needs evolve, so do we. Because these last 20 years are just the beginning. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Anyone can choose to make a difference. You can help people succeed, rebuild after disasters, protect the environment, or feed the hungry. Not only will you make a difference for others, but for yourself. You can earn money for college, learn career skills, and make friendships that last a lifetime. Make a difference. Choose your future. Choose AmeriCorps.
Talking to your kids about the dangers of vaping can be hard. Getting them to listen to hot gossip is easy. So here's some drama you could share with your kid. Dude, did you hear about Cassie and Jake? No, but did you hear that vaping can cause irreversible lung damage and nicotine affects brain development? Nuh-uh. You don't need to gossip if you want to have an open conversation about vaping. So if you want to get tips on when and how to talk to your kids, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I. And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Moving Day, a walk for Parkinson's, is happening around the country. More than just a walk. Moving Day is a fun experience that unites the community in the fight against Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's doesn't stop, and neither will we. So let's get moving. Join the Parkinson's Foundation to learn more and register for an event in your area at movingdaywalk.org. That's movingdaywalk.org.
It's time for a hotline hot mess.
A disguised Phoenix man was arrested after allegedly robbing the Scottsdale Shake Shack where he worked, then returning to the same location 2 days later. Kendre Simmons, 33, allegedly entered through the rear delivery door on August 3rd, forced a coworker into a walk-in cooler at gunpoint, and directed the manager to open the safe, stealing approximately $2,800. He then destroyed all phones by submerging them in water. Investigators say his knowledge of the store's layout, voice, and physical characteristics helped identify him. Surveillance footage and cell phone records placed him at the scene, and a firearm and cash consistent with the stolen amount were recovered at his home. Simmons was arrested on August 5th, still wearing his Shake Shack uniform. So that's kind of a hotline. hot mess. Oh, I'm glad we don't have smart criminals sometimes, though. That's a benefit occasionally. Larry Groce is going to join me at the top of the next hour, the 4 o'clock hour. We're going to talk about Mountain Stage, and then we're going to talk about the West Virginia State Fair at the bottom of the next hour. All of that's coming up next. You're listening to the Hotline on Metro News. Metro News is the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Following Tuesday's flooding, Wednesday brought a break from the rain for many of us, but we're not done with flooding potential. A watch going into Friday may be extended with more heavy rain on the way. This builds in from the west through tonight. Then for our Friday, a widespread marginal to slight risk for excessive rainfall. Lingering marginal risk Saturday and Saturday night. That will be expanding across the eastern panhandle Sunday and Sunday night with a slight risk mainly over mountainous regions. Monday, drier air begins to edge into the region, but before that happens, we could still see some heavy downpours. Through Saturday night, Huntington, Charleston, Beckley, Elkins, these areas have that 1/2 inch to 1 inch with locally higher amounts. Meanwhile, Lewisburg, Parkersburg, northern and eastern panhandle, generally less than 1/2 inch in that time frame. So through the evening and overnight hours, we will see some storms moving in with some heavy rain, but also these storms may be capable of some gusty winds for our Friday. That'll carry into the early afternoon, and then evening and overnight, additional storms into Saturday. FlyStar W forecast, it starts at home. Chicago is dealing with some wet weather as we head through the weekend. Meanwhile, Charlotte feeling the heat, but generally quieter. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north for mid to upper 60s overnight. May see some areas of fog settle in, low to mid 80s on Friday. No warmer than 83 for Moundsville. As we go east, mid to upper 60s. Then we'll see 85 for Martinsburg, Petersburg 84. Elkins 67 overnight, then 81 on Friday with Ripley seeing 85. We'll see mid 60s to low 70s over southern West Virginia. Then Friday's highs in low to upper 80s with Huntington pushing to 88. This stretch will be taking us through the weekend. Multiple rounds of rain that'll be heavy at times. A warm front pushes us to 92 for Charleston Sunday, but cooler into next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour
navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more
from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no-politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Once again, filling in for Dave Weekly is Dale Cooper.
Metro News Hotline, Dale Cooper filling in for Weekly. Dave will be back on Monday, but thanks so much for tuning in today. Looking forward to this hour of quality radio that we're going to be bringing you. Larry Groce is going to kick things off here in just a minute. We're going to talk about what's coming up on Mountain Stage. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about the West Virginia State Fair. That's kicking off, and man, they have a great lineup this year. So I'm going to look forward to talking about the fair just a little bit because they got some good musical acts down there. Of course, they have all kinds of great live events. Food, anything that you could ask for is going to be at the West Virginia State Fair. So we'll talk about that a little bit in the program as well. And we'll also get out of here this hour on this date. Next hour, Kevin Kinder is going to join us as well as Amy Smith. So if you have any questions for Amy, the investor, the financial expert and investor expert, you can give her a text at 304-825-5304. Larry Groce is here right now. We're going to go ahead and reset our question of the day and get to Larry. Let's do that right now. For the question of the day today, this has to do with I read the story about Chris Carter from who was creator of the X-Files. 2 days after the theatrical release of the movie X-Files, I want to believe his director's cut is going to see the light of day on August 14th, so that's going to be tomorrow. Carter's cut restores horror elements removed to secure the PG-13 rating with the original release. This will be offering a darker tale on the Dr. Frankenstein-inspired storyline. This release coincides with Ryan Coogler's reboot of the X-Files, which debuts on Hulu and Disney+. So today's Salango Law Question of the Day is, what spooky or unexplained thing do you personally know about that would make a good X-Files episode? What spooky or unexplained thing do you know about that would make an X-Files episode? 304-825-5304. 304-TALK-304 from the 304-685. My grandpa swore he saw a Black Panther crossing Route 60 near Gauley Bridge in the 70s. West Virginia doesn't have Black Panthers, but he claimed that until he died. From the 304-687. Oh, this is spooky. Our house phone rang at 3 a.m. for a solid month. Same time every night. No caller ID back then, but it was dead air when you answered. A bunch of us kids had a seance with a Ouija board. Nothing really happened, but the phone never rang at 3 a.m. again. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So I want to know your stories. 304-825-5304, 304-TALK-304. Larry Groce joins me now. Any spooky stories you can think of?
No, I've always hoped to see, an unidentified object, whatever they call it now, ENF, UFO,
UAPs, or whatever it is, right?
Anyway, but I haven't seen one. I'm constantly looking for one. But I've heard that story about the panther at Gully. I have a place near Gully Bridge, and I know people down there, and they swear that
really,
they swear that I haven't heard black, but I've heard definitely that there were mountain lion there. There at least one. A friend of mine talks about. He's living there. He's 70 now, and when he was a little boy, so that's 60-something years ago, they heard him scream. And once his mother came riding home on a horse back then, and she was chased by it, according to him. And that was right outside of Gully Bridge, not far away.
Well, see, this guy's grandpa might have been doing something too. Then you never know.
It's hard to know. It was one of those things where you can't eliminate it. You can, if you see it or have a video of it, you can say it's real, but you can't ever say it's not there.
Right. And with panthers, we know they exist somewhere. So it's not like Bigfoot where we don't think that there is one.
And we also know that at one point they were here.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Maybe 100, 200 years ago, whatever. They were here. We like the buffalo. They all moved west, and the elk and so forth. But who knows? Maybe they didn't all move west.
Those are the kind of stories I like. I don't really like ghost stories and stuff. I don't really get into those, but I like the weird creatures or the weird things or just the unexplained things happening. I dig that kind of thing.
And there are some, no doubt, strange. We don't know everything. There's strange things.
How can we? Right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way, and there's a lot of theories with those things as well. But I want to hear your stories too, so you can text those over to 304-825-5304. So how you been? Everything been all right?
Yeah, pretty good. Since I saw you last, I was still touting the musical up in.
That's right. Yep.
Up in Marietta, and that came off very well thanks to you guys' help. Matter of fact, we had people. I talked to people who heard about it on this show.
Fantastic.
Which was a beautiful thing. And we sold out 6 nights, and now we're trying to look at next year and see if we can do it again. But it was a lot of fun. A lot of folks from here were, and here in Huntington were in it, and as well as, of course, a lot of folks from Ohio. It's a story about Ohio. But that's all done now, and I can kind of look ahead. I just was out. My old buddy Andy Ridenauer started Mountain Stage with his wife passed on, so we just had a celebration of her life. Matter of fact, I was in Shepherdstown this morning, so I just got back. Those things are beautiful, but emotional. So
yeah, they're heavy.
That's one of those things that you'd rather not do, but you have to do, and that's the way it goes. But Mountain Stage is getting ready to have a new show, and then we're going to go on the road in the fall, at least a couple times. Once to Huntington, but we're going to go on over to North Carolina and over to Virginia. But right now, we're home at the Cultural Center, not this weekend, but the weekend after this on the 23rd. And we got a very cool show. We got a couple of people that have been on before. Sarah Borges, you may not know her name, but she's from Boston originally, but she sounds more like she's from Austin. She's more country flavored and Americana country and sometimes a little rocky. A really good songwriter, and I really like her stuff. A good beat to her music, a very kind of driving sound. And then we have Buffalo Wobbs and the Price Hill Hustle. That sounds like a funny group. They're from Cincinnati. There are 4 of them, and they're mostly acoustic, but I think they have drums too. And they sometimes they sound old-time music style, sometimes they sound country, but they got a great spirit about them. I really like their fun music. And they can also be very touching. It's a good quartet. They play at the Purple Fiddle a lot, and they play this whole region a lot. Now they're breaking out to everywhere, but Buffalo Wobbs. And then we got a couple we have some music from. The first is, let me tell you this guy, Tony Trischka. If you don't know Tony Trischka, let's put it this way. You know who Bela Fleck is, right?
Of course, yeah.
Tony Trischka taught Bela how to play banjo.
Wow, yeah.
And so that's where Tony's, he's really the godfather of the whole bringing the banjo into the modern age, playing the bluegrass. He plays bluegrass. He can play that old-style bluegrass, but he can also do other things. And he's played with, David Grisman and Tony Rice and a whole load of people who have gone from other directions as well as bluegrass. But he's got this is a cool thing. He's got a thing called Tony Trischka's Earl Jam 2 because somebody gave him, and I'm not sure he even knows who, the recording of John Hartford and Earl Scruggs playing together just in a room, like in somebody's house. And it had like 200 songs on it. So he went through all this, and he's kind of copied what they did and turned them into a couple of records.
What a neat idea.
No, it's a wonderful idea. And he's got really great musicians with him, and including on the record it has and you can imagine it has stars singing, because Tony's not a singer.
As he plays and they sing, right? Yeah.
So you got to have somebody singing, and he's bringing a great singer with him, by the way. But on the record, it's everybody from Billy Strings to Sierra, a whole bunch of people sing on the record, and Del McCoury. Matter of fact, I think Del's going to be playing on this cut that we're going to hear.
Man, what a cool idea!
That's
man.
a great idea.
That is a really great idea. Let's go ahead and hear this music, man. This is Tony Trischka. And this is Tony Trischka going to be on Mountain Stage on the 23rd.
Yep.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Columbus Stockade Blues.
Way down in Columbus, Georgia, wanna be back in Tennessee. Way down in Columbus, Stockade, friends have turned their back on me.
That's Tony playing the banjo there.
I should have
and all those people that are with him, probably a lot of those will be here. And there'll be a lead singer that he has that travels with him for this record. He's very entertaining.
Michael Daves, is that it?
Michael Daves is that guy's name. And he's really quite a good singer himself, bluegrass player. And I don't know who he's going to bring, but it's always very tip-top. Fiddle player, bass player, all those people.
I love the concept of the album. That's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's great
because
really cool. Hartford and Earl Scruggs. I mean, that's like two people, that should be statues.
Yeah, right.
On the wall of bluegrass, Mount Rushmore of bluegrass. You got to have those guys there. So anyway, that's there. And then we got this guy who's kind of the opposite. He's a young guy. He's only 19 years old, from down in Texas, but he's been burning up things for a few years. People saying, what's this guy? He seems much older than his years. He's a player and a songwriter and a singer, and he's just made an album for the Strictly Handmade Records, which is Guy Clark's estate. If you like Guy Clark, you know who Guy Clark is. Yeah. Well, that's the kind of tradition this guy comes out of. He loves Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark. He's been on the road with Ray Hubbard, and he's still only 19 years old. But listen to this cut, and you can get a little sample of him.
Go down, Moses, to the sea, over yonder Galilee. 2 trains running, let freedom ring, looking for the moss on the trees. Your left hand slide and your right hand go. May you get to heaven, for the devil knows. 7 whistles and 7 crows. Let your left hand slide and your right hand go.
Jack Barksdale
Man,
is his
yeah.
name. Pretty cool. I mean, he does sound beyond his years, more mature in the way he sings and plays. So I'm looking forward to hearing. I've heard about him for a while, and he'll be here on the 23rd along with Tony and the Earl Jam Band and Sarah Borges and Buffalo Wobbs and the Price Hill Hustle. This is all down at the Culture Center in Charleston, if you're close enough to come in. And you can get tickets now at mountainstage.org, or you can take a chance and show up at the door, and there may be some left.
Man, that sounds like a great show, and I'm still kind of stunned by the scope of that Tony Trischka album. I think that's a really cool sounding project.
It's a great project, and I haven't read enough to figure out. I think in the beginning he didn't know who gave him. Somebody gave him a thumb drive that had these things on it, and
random.
I'm sure he must have found out who did it and where it came from. But it sounded like 2 guys, Earl Scruggs and John Hartford, sitting in a room, and they'd talk and play, and they knew 100 songs together, so they just kept playing songs, and if you know anything about banjo, Earl Scruggs is the father of the whole three-finger banjo style that he invented, and everybody else, Bela Fleck and everybody's been playing for years in bluegrass music. So that's a great idea.
One of the things before I get you out of here, I was going to ask you about that, and your experience of seeing this. I've been watching. I've been trying to introduce my daughter to some music for one thing, and so we've been trying different things. She got really into the K-pop Demon Hunter things, and so some of the K-pop music and stuff like that she really got into, and some of the Disney stuff. And she has a pretty good ear for picking up on things that she likes. And so we've been going through some different things and things like that. And one of the things that I really have found in going back and finding some old live concerts and different things like that, I think I have a new appreciation of that as I go back and watch people that do like piano-only performances or guitar-only performances or something like that. My goodness, that has to be hard. That's got to be so difficult.
That's funny you say that, because most people take it for granted that somebody can come out with just one instrument and play and sing. Because first of all, think about it. You either have to have incredible material that you've written that nobody knows or that people love or whatever. You got to be a great performer, great singer, or great player, or all three. And then often you have to have something else. You have to be able to solo with the instrument, or you have to be funny. You can do things for a few minutes, a few songs, but if you're going to be out there for an hour, it's a challenge. And the more you think about it, all you have is your little instrument there, and to keep people entertained and keep people interested. And material is really important. What you play is really important.
I saw one of my favorite concerts that I like live. It's John Cale from the Velvet Underground. He has a live performance called Fragments from a Rainy Season. It's just him and piano out there playing. He does some really amazing versions of his music and different things he does, but it's just him out there just crashing the piano. Just you can't believe it's just one guy and an instrument, but he's doing such a great job. On the other end of things, we watched Nick Cave's Idiot Prayer, which was this thing he did during COVID. It was just him in this white cathedral dressed in all white with a white piano. It's like an hour-and-a-half show, and it's just him. No stories, no crowd work. There's no crowd there. It's just him singing song after song after song. How incredibly difficult that has to be.
It is, and if it kept you engaged.
Absolutely engaged.
For an hour and a half, then you know the genius of the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, believe me, you're right. It is very difficult. It's not too hard for one person to come out with a guitar and play some songs for you. But to keep you interested and to make you want to hear more than a couple of those songs is really a challenge. And it's funny because no one talks about that. You just take it for granted. Oh, yeah, this guy. And sometimes it's people, their songs, somebody comes out that you're like, maybe Nick Cave songs, he comes out. But to do that by himself, it's a big deal.
It is, man. I was just, it struck me this weekend, and when I saw that you were coming in this week, I just wanted to mention that because it's just, to me, who's not a musician, who just loves music, it's just mind-blowing that you're out there doing all these things and you're hitting all your notes. And, even if you're going on a run and ad-libbing or whatever, that you find a way to bring it back and that you find a way to pay off the song. I mean, the whole thing is pretty incredible to watch.
We had this last week. It wasn't a single person, but it was a single singer with a pianist. And the band joined her for a couple of songs, but she had 3 or 4 songs. Inara George, you may not know her, but her father was Lowell George from Little Feat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, who wrote Willin' and all those songs. She has totally different style. She's like an art song singer in a way. And she had this guy who had written some songs she was singing, but just him and her, and piano and voice and a lot of space.
It's good stuff, man.
It was really,
what.
I was spellbound by it. It was pretty, but you bring up a wonderful point.
When it hits right, man, it's just some of the most captivating music you can find. I just found out this weekend.
A couple of months ago, Lake Street Dive played Keith Albee Theater in Huntington, and opening for them was a woman named Jackie Evans. She's a piano player, grew up as a bar entertainer, and it was just her and a keyboard right on the center of that stage, and it could have been 12 people up there. She just filled that room and captivated all of us for the entire opening set. It really is. It's a special thing when you can do that.
When it happens, it's magical.
It is. It really is. When it's done right, it's really. When it's done bad, it can be bad.
Well, when it's done bad, you can't hear them because people are talking.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah, they're talking over top of them. You're absolutely right. Larry, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
It's Mountain Stage coming up on the 23rd. MountainStage.org to get your tickets. We'll take a break and be back right after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News.
Don't forget about our podcast.
Check out your favorite podcast provider
Or simply go to WVMetroNews.com and click on the podcast link.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law.
On Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Of course, the LVA was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I kid my friend who just texted me, by the way, and said, no blanking cheese. Got away with
well, he
words.
should come out. He comes to the game.
No, you don't want him there because
because not everyone's going to have cheese. I mean, there might be a couple.
No, what he's going to do, he's going to go up to everybody there and start turning over their carts and saying, "This you are illegitimate. This is not accurate."
Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Walnuts are disgusting. If you don't believe me, eat a walnut, tell me if it's gone bad. You don't know, no one does. Every single time I've eaten a raw walnut, I'm like, nope, something's wrong, call the hospital. I think I just ate a spider covered in wood. That's what that tasted like. You know that walnuts are bad because they're never the main flavor of anything. When was the last time you saw a product that said flavor walnut? Never. Furniture only.
It's really not a bad point when you come to think of it, although I like toasted walnuts, all right. They're not too bad. Let's get an entertainment update from ABC News.
ABC Entertainment News.
We are older now. Adults is coming back for a second season. The comedy about a group of friends in their 20s coming of age in New York City will feature guests including Gaten Matarazzo, Jake Shane, and Isaac Powell. Adults premieres on FXX and Hulu on August 27th. Disney is the parent company of FX, Hulu, and ABC News.
Come with me.
Netflix has announced a scrumdiddlyumptious cast for its upcoming animated sequel to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The starry lineup includes Kate Winslet, Nicola Coughlan, and Helena Bonham Carter. Charlie vs. The Chocolate Factory comes to theaters on November 5th, 2027.
It was the best of times.
MGM Plus has released the first trailer for their new series adaptation of Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. The new series, starring Kit Harington, comes to the streamer on September 6th. And happy birthday to Avengers actor Sebastian Stan, who is 44 today. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Thanks, Michelle. Appreciate that. Also, wanted to tell you about Untold. Ray Gun Breaking Badly, the trailer. Remember that the Olympic breakdancer that wore green that made the meme? She has a movie coming out about her. Here's the trailer.
Ray Gun. There was this frenzy. It was this growing monster.
0 points.
How did this person go to the Olympics? I know I'm a dorky white woman who's an academic. And I'm a B-girl.
Did you ever associate Olympian and Rachel growing up?
Never. Sorry, not the right reaction, is it?
I was furious. She was not prepared.
She's vibing, baby.
She's a legend. Some of the memes were funny, then the tone started to change.
So Rachel Gunn cheated her way into the Olympics.
And then had her husband be a judge.
What?
Boom, 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 pow! And it just kept getting more crazy.
What's going on?
I can't just be a meme. Am I Rachel? Or Reagan?
I don't know, man. I might watch it. I have no idea. We're coming back. We're going to talk about the West Virginia State Fair after this. You're listening to Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Following Tuesday's flooding, Wednesday brought a break from the rain for many of us, but we're not done with flooding potential. A watch going into Friday may be extended with more heavy rain on the way. This builds in from the west through tonight. Then for our Friday, a widespread marginal to slight risk for excessive rainfall. Lingering marginal risk Saturday and Saturday night. That will be expanding across the eastern panhandle Sunday and Sunday night with a slight risk mainly over mountainous regions. Monday, drier air begins to edge into the region, but before that happens, we could still see some heavy downpours. Through Saturday night, Huntington, Charleston, Beckley, Elkins, these areas have that 1/2 inch to an inch with locally higher amounts. Meanwhile, Lewisburg, Parkersburg, northern and eastern panhandle, generally less than a 1/2 inch in that time frame. So through the evening and overnight hours, we will see some storms moving in with some heavy rain, but also these storms may be capable of some gusty winds for our Friday. That'll carry into the early afternoon, and then evening and overnight, additional storms into Saturday. FlySR forecast, it starts at home. Chicago is dealing with some wet weather as we head through the weekend. Meanwhile, Charlotte feeling the heat, but generally quieter. Panhandle to panhandle forecast, looking north for mid to upper 60s overnight. May see some areas of fog settle in, low to mid 80s on Friday. No warmer than 83 for Moundsville. As we go east, mid to upper 60s. Then we'll see 85 for Martinsburg, Petersburg 84. Elkins 67 overnight, then 81 on Friday with Ripley seeing 85. We'll see mid 60s to low 70s over southern West Virginia. Then Friday's highs in low to upper 80s with Huntington pushing to 88. This stretch will be taking us through the weekend. Multiple rounds of rain that'll be heavy at times. A warm front pushes us to 92 for Charleston Sunday, but cooler into next week.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen,
I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one. 304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, that's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
It is 27 minutes until the top of the hour. You're listening to Metro News Hotline. It's coming up on 5 o'clock. We're on the downhill slide side of things for Matt and I here on Metro News Hotline. Coming up is the 6 o'clock hour. Top of the 6 o'clock hour will be Sportsline tonight. By the way, to give you those updates on the regional teams that were in battle this afternoon on completed games, the Reds did win in their series finale against the White Sox in Chicago. They ended up taking that series. Wasn't easy. They were up at one point 8-4, then 9-5, and they win 9-8. So close game, but the Reds were able to pull it out in the end. So the Reds win that series. They are going to move on for a series this weekend against who the heck is it? St. Louis? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up in a minute. And then the Pittsburgh Pirates got one back off of the Marlins. They win that game 13-1, and so the Pirates got back into the winning column again today as well. We'll give you the rest of those update as we go along there. And Matt just confirmed for me that it is the Cardinals that the Reds are going to be playing this weekend. Let's restart our question of the day before we get over to Kelly Collins. We're going to talk about the West Virginia State Fair. That's coming up in just 1 second, but let's reset today's question of the day. Nearly 2 decades after its theatrical release, Chris Carter's intended director's cut of The X-Files, I Want to Believe, is finally seeing the light of day. The film premieres on August 14th on Disney Plus and Hulu. Carter's version restores some of the horror elements that they had to cut to make the original release PG-13. This coincides with the reboot, Ryan Coogler's reboot of the franchise that debuts on Hulu and Disney Plus tomorrow. So the Salango Law question of the day for today is, what spooky or unexplained thing that you personally know about would make a good X-Files episode? What spooky or unexplained thing that you know about would make a good X-Files episode? From the 304-688, I worked third shift at a nursing home and more than once watched the call lights turn on an empty room after someone passed. Okay.
That is a little scary.
That is a little. You witnessed it yourself, no doubt. I like this one. 304-698. My uncle hunts up around Cranberry and says something walked past his stand on 2 legs, way too tall to be a person, and never made a sound in the leaves. He hasn't returned to that spot. That sounds like a squash.
Sasquatch.
That sounds like a squash, which for those of you that are longtime listeners of the program knows that me and Metro News' Chris Lawrence are experts in the building on the squatching. We were actually on the Bigfoot show on what was it? Hunting Bigfoot.
How did I not know about that?
You've never heard that story?
No.
Oh my goodness, man! I'll have to tell that later. But yeah, we were West Virginia Outdoors was featured with Chris's show, West Virginia Outdoors, which deals with critters in the Mountain State, among many things, was featured on an episode of Finding Bigfoot.
Wow.
It was...
First I've heard of this.
It was... we were paid for our efforts.
Okay.
From the production company, and it was... my NDA ran out, so it was 100% fake.
10 years I've been around here. First I hear of this.
Yeah, that's true. I have
been holding out on me, Dale.
I have that check. It was I got paid $100 to do that, and that check is up in my office still because I figured it was the only Hollywood money I would ever get.
No residuals on that one, huh?
No, although you can find that episode on Animal Planet or Discovery, whatever it's on, you can find it on to this day. You can find it, and you see the description. It's like at a West Virginia radio station or something like that is how the description starts. That's us. That's us. If you check it out, our old studio and everything is in there. And Chris's dirty coffee cup. That was like the star of the episode. Every time it cut to Chris, you could see his dirty coffee cup there. The one that was later broken. So that had some sentimentality to it in the afterlife. Anyway, let's talk. I'll tell that story again a little bit later on. But let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the West Virginia State Fair. I'm joined now by Kelly Collins, and looking at the lineup for everything that's going on at the State Fair this year. Number one, it reminds me of so many good times when I was a kid. That was a yearly sabbatical that we would make with my family. We would drive down the highway. We would go to 1 or 2 nights of the State Fair. In my era, it was almost always the Statler brothers we would end up to go down to see, and then driving back with our various toys and candy and stuff like that late at night coming back from the State Fair. Always a great time. So, Kelly, I'm glad that you're joining me today so we can reminisce some and talk about the State Fair of 2026. Thanks for coming on the program.
Thanks for having me. And I remember my first concert. It was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Billy Ray Cyrus. I bet he sang Achy Breaky Heart.
Oh, absolutely.
That's. I bet that was a good show because, man, the State Fair has had so many great concerts over the years and get so many great performances in there. And that's something that we're going to talk about a little bit today. But Kelly, give me a little bit of an overall vibe of this year's West Virginia State Fair. How would you describe it?
Well, we had a huge anniversary last year with our 100th anniversary. So celebrating 101 is just as special for us. Yeah. So we have a great lineup of entertainment, our food vendors, our livestock exhibits, and, you know, all of the vendors that are across property. It's just a great way to end summer before you have to go back to school.
Let's give folks sort of the basic information. First of all, what website can they go to get the information they need, maybe layout maps, anything along those lines? Where's going to be their information hub?
So if you want to check out our daily schedules, our grandstand lineup, if you want to purchase your tickets before you get here, so you just have to walk through the gate, you don't have to go to the ticket booth, you can visit us at statefairofwv.com, or, of course, check out our social media pages. That's where we have a lot of the updated information in case we have scheduled changes or anything else that might pop up. That's the best place to get up-to-date information.
And, of course, tickets are just $15 for adults. Kids that are, is it under 10 get in for free?
Yeah, 10 and under's free. Our weekdays are actually $10. Weekends are $15. Right. But we've got a lot of great gate specials throughout the week. On Tuesday, August 18th, it's Mountain Valley Pipeline Day, and you can actually get into the fair for just $1 and ride rides for $20. So if you're looking for the best deal, it's that day.
Man, that's something else. So give us I know we have a little bit of a preview coming up, so give us an overview of the schedule. When do festivities start?
So we open the gates up this morning at 8 a.m., and carnival rides are open from 11 to 11 each day. We've got the Buck and Bee Bull Ride on the grandstand on the main stage tonight, and we've got Vincent Mason and Avery Anna coming up tomorrow. We've got our 4-H and FFA Youth Livestock Show going on in the barns right now. We've got rodeos. We've got a whole host of activities going on right now, and the grounds are busy. It's a great sight to see, and that's the most exciting thing for us every year is just to get the gates open and see people walk through.
Man, it is something else, and just taking a look down through some of the stuff you're going to have before we get to some of the shows that are going to be there. You have the Florist Citrus Thrill Show, Circus Thrill Show. You have Dock Dogs. You have the Oregon Trail Display, Hot Glass Academy. There's just so many different things there that are in booths, things that you're just walking by and can stop and see, all kinds of entertainment that's going on out there. There's tons of livestock that's going to be out there through FFA shows and different things along those lines. I mean, it's really just something that not only can you go for the big headline events and stuff like that, you go there at the beginning of the day and you have something that you can do every single minute the entire time that you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of that stuff is included with your gate admission. So the Flores Circus Thrill Show, the Dock Dogs, all of that is included. They've got shows throughout the day, and we post a daily schedule that you can check those out, and you don't have to pay extra for that. Our vendors are a really important part to the fair, and each and every one of them does such a great job at creating an atmosphere that the fairgoers are going to enjoy. So we have to thank those folks for being here as well, and they're a part of the magic that happens here at the State Fair.
You also have the signature fireworks every night, right?
So fireworks are actually on Saturday, August 15th and Saturday, August 22nd. So they're on both Saturdays at 10:30 p.m.
That was my bad information. So both Saturdays is we're going to have those big fireworks shows, and that's going to be a great time as well. A couple of the things, just as I was going through some of the information that I wanted to bring up, there's some pretty cool things going on there. You have of course, you have all of the food that's going to be down there from your humble corn dog to I know that Belt's Pizza is going to be there. You can get a steak sandwich from Cattleman's. There's a ham stand from the FFA. There's tons of different vendors and food that you can get. Not only typical fare, but also regional flavored things and things along those lines.
Absolutely. We also have a food guide. So when you come into the main portion of the fairgrounds at our merchandise booth, you can stop and get a fair food guide, which has a map of all of the food vendors on property, as well as the participants at our next big fair food contest. So we like to encourage our vendors every year to come up with a creative and exciting idea. And we've got everything from, specialty flavored lemonades to Korean corn dogs and Mexican street corn in a cup and stuff that's interesting for the fair. And it's always fun to see what they come up with.
Kelly Collins is joining me talking about the West Virginia State Fair down in Lewisburg. We want to get to some of the shows that are coming up here in just a moment. We mentioned how kids under 10 get in free all day, every day on Tuesday, August 18th. It's going to be $1 admission day where you can get in the gates for just $1. And tell us a little bit about the Mega Pass. Now, this is for the carnival rides, and this gives you a 12-hour window to really go hog wild on all of the rides.
Mega passes it's at your ride pass for the day, and it gets you the unlimited rides from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Outstanding. So that's just what it is. You get unlimited rides. Don't have to worry about individual tickets or what you're doing.
Correct.
You have the pass. You can ride the rides as much as you want, as many times as you want.
We do, and you can also get a special on Monday, August 17th, if you bring in 3 school supply items. We partner with communities and schools in the Greenbrier County, and if you bring in 3 school supply items or personal hygiene items, you can get your admission and rides for $25, so that's also a great deal.
That's great stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the shows that are going to be on the grandstand. And there's a great it's just a great lineup. There's nothing else to say about. You mentioned that tomorrow night it's going to be Vincent Mason and Avery Anna. That will be tomorrow night's concerts. What are some of your personal highlights that you're looking forward to? And I'll get down through the rest of the list.
Well, we've got a great list of concerts with Trace Atkins and Gavin Adcock, Shenandoah, Paul Wall and the Ying Yang Twins, Kane and Leanna Crawford. There's a little bit of music for everyone. It's special in a community this small that we've had the list of artists come through this town. Not a lot of small towns get to see the caliber of entertainment come through. So we always like to say that we're just a small town with big music. So it's always fun to see that. It's a lot of people's first concert. It was my first concert. So it's really special that we're helping folks create those memories. On a personal side, I love the livestock end of the fair. That's how I grew up and got involved with the fair, is showing livestock with my family and 4-H and FFA shows. And I have a daughter showing now in that age or in that category. So it's fun to see the next generation take over, and it's awesome to see those kids, all their hard work pay off.
That's outstanding information. So you can go over to the State Fair website, statefairofwv.com, to find out more information over there. All kinds of great things going on there. From Sierra Farrow is going to be down there. We were just talking about her with Larry Groce just a little bit ago. She's going to perform on Sunday in the area. And then there's the grandstand concerts that you can find down there. Things end up with Stone Temple Pilots next week. Shenandoah is going to be there. I mean, there's just Dierks Bentley. I mean, it's just an amazing all-star lineup of concerts that's going to be down there.
There is. And Sierra Farrell, how special is it that we have a West Virginia native on the main stage? And we're very excited to welcome her to Lewisburg. She's been here for some festivals in the past, but, I'm sure that being a kid from West Virginia, it's probably a big deal to play at the State Fair. And we were lucky enough that she was willing and able to play here. So if you haven't checked her out in concert, if you haven't seen one of her concerts, I highly recommend it. And just to support her as a West Virginia artist as well. But she's truly amazing. And then Dierks Bentley, what a big name to have here. So we can't wait to welcome him back to Lewisburg.
Fantastic. And I've seen Shenandoah before, and they put on a great show as well. So, I mean, it's just going to be an outstanding time at the West Virginia State Fair. I have memories from decades back when I was a kid of driving to the State Fair every year and going to these concerts and all of the events there. I had this little stuffed animal, little stuffed monkey that I called George, that my daughter, her very first stuffed animal she got was a monkey, and we called her Georgette. And so that's a little State Fair connection that I have there personally. Kelly, thank you so much. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, that's exactly why we do what we're doing, is so people can create memories just like that.
Exactly. Generational, that's for sure. And Kelly, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for coming on and telling us about all the goings on at the West Virginia State Fair.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Appreciate that. That's Kelly Collins joining us. And I noticed that their website is statefairofwestvirginia.com. Is it officially the West Virginia State Fair or the State Fair of West Virginia? Did I get that wrong the entire time?
Well, that's a good question.
That would be just like me to get it wrong the entire time.
I think everyone just refers to it as State Fair, the West Virginia State
That's
Fair.
what I always have. I hope I didn't get, like, from a marketing perspective, get that wrong. I believe I did some research, and I think if you're going by GPS, you can put in 947 Maplewood Avenue in Lewisburg, and that's the GPS will take you there. So I think that's what you would put in if you're on your way down. 947 Maplewood Avenue in Lewisburg, and that should get you to the West Virginia State Fair. So let's take a break. We'll do a little on this date when we come back.
Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law, will return right after these messages.
You know a thing or two.
Football season begins right here on Metro News Television. Join us Thursday, August 27th for the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Presented by the Army National Guard. The Cameron Dragons battle the Clay Battelle Seabees live from Blacksville. Don't miss the first kickoff of the new season, the 2026 WVSSAC kickoff game. Thursday, August 27th at 7 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 p.m. Powered by GoMart, only on Metro News Television.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer Golf Coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
They had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cava GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the world.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
At Daniel's Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniel's is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discovered tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniel's.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Welcome back to Metro News Hotline. It's time for On This Date. On this date, August 13th, 1962, John Slattery, American actor, was born. He was Ron Serling on The Mad Men. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts. He's 64 today, and here is the wit and the wisdom of Roger Sterling.
I want the Chinaman out of the building by lunch. Enjoy it. You don't know how to drink, your whole generation. You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good. Because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar. Because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
On this date, 1967, Bonnie and Clyde, directed by Arthur Penn and starring Warren Beatty and Faye Dunaway, is released.
Look, what do you want to do with him then? Hang him. I don't know.
Take his picture. And then everybody's going to see Captain Frank Hammer of the Texas Rangers with the Barra Gang. Now, you know, we are just about the friendliest folks you would ever want to meet.
Hey, Buck. Yeah? Get the Kodak. Doggies! Hold it.
That's Bonnie, Faye Dunaway. That's Clyde, Warren Beatty.
Grab the Kodak. That's something you don't hear a lot of anymore. Grab the Kodak. In 1971, Paul and Linda McCartney release Backseat of My Car.
The lazy lights are pretty. We may end up in Mexico City. But listen to her daddy song. Making love is wrong. Ooh, we're just busy riding. Sitting in the backseat of my car.
There's a famous live version of this song where the person running the mixing board jammed Linda's vocals way up, and so she's really hot in the mix. Kind of a cruel thing to do, to be quite honest. There's a bootleg of that's running around, though. And on this date in 1969, Baltimore Oriole Jim Palmer no-hits the Oakland A's in an 8-0 win.
Palmer into the move. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the shortstop, Floyd. He's got it. The throw to second base. Palmer has pitched the no-hitter. Jim Palmer has pitched a no-hit, no-run game to defeat the Oakland A's. As Haney hit the ground ball to Floyd, he grabbed it, fired to Buford, and then everybody descends on Jim Palmer. Orioles and spectators alike as they head for the dugout. As the big, good-looking Oriole right-hander has niched his name in the baseball record book for all time with a no-hit, no-run game over the Oakland A's.
And in 2016, American swimmer Michael Phelps ends his career at the Rio Olympics as part of the winning 4x100 medley relay, his record 23rd gold medal.
The USA have got it. Nathan Adrian will bring them home. Great Britain's Duncan Scott will take the silver, and will the Australians get up and take the bronze? They do. Olympic record. Michael Phelps and his team have maintained this extraordinary record of never having lost the medley relay at a full Olympics.
Maybe I'm a front runner, but Michael Phelps and Simone Biles are my two favorite Olympians. I've been huge fans of theirs forever. So Michael Phelps, historic day in 2016. Our music to the break today, born in 1959. He's 67 today, from the Partridge Family. It's Danny Bonaducci. Feeling groovy.
How about another big round of applause for Danny Bonaducci?
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. and they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Of course, the LVAD was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world.
Download Metro News Television on your iPhone or Android. Search Metro News Television in your App Store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
.org.
That's going to do it for hour number 2. Thank you so much for tuning in to Metro News Hotline. We're going to be back in the next hour. Amy Smith is going to join us, formerly of Investors Business Daily. Now she's just a shining pride of Randolph County, and we're taking your questions. We'll be back after this. This is Hotline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.